everybody, so welcome back. It has been a while since we played, so we'll go ahead and do a bit of a longer recap here. But last session, you all spent some more downtime at Candlekeep, going about your various business, doing your own personal research, doing your own personal development of new materials and whatnot. Got a chance to meet a few members of the Fastidious Five that turned out to surprise you a bit. These individuals that you expected to be rivals, at least the ones that you met, seemed to be perfectly amiable. And so, yeah, got a chance to talk to a few of them, and even got into a bit of a wrestling match with one of them, and got to prove your own prowess to the populace of Candlekeep by defeating an undefeated wrestler, thus earning the respect of not only the Fastidious Five, but also a lot of Candlekeep. A lot of people really do put a lot of stock into those matches. The Ogmaites of Candlekeep, clerics of Ogma, monks of Ogma, so on and so forth, put a lot of stock into their wrestling tournaments, and Uskar being able to defeat one of them is quite a big deal. So after all of that, and kind of during that even, one of you came across a book, as do most of the things from Candlekeep. This book led you towards something interesting. There was the ghost of a woman who had been bound to this book, and it was almost as if this book kind of almost fell into your lap. As one of you was moving through the library, it fell off of the shelf behind as you walked by, and upon investigating the book, the spirit of this woman, Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor, emerged and pleaded for help wordlessly, as she had no tongue. Investigating the book led to several different things, mainly pointing towards the city of Waterdeep and a former resident of the city by the name of Lord Vialis. His family and his servants at his home had been brutally murdered, seemingly involved in some sort of cult activity, and Lord Vialis, who had been out of town at the moment, at the time of the murders, at least from all accounts had been out of town at the time of the murders, was cleared of any guilt, although Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor led you all to believe that not only was Lord Vialis involved, but directly responsible for the massacre at his home. Along with of that... Go ahead.
We also found a teleportation circle, right?
No, you've had access to the teleportation circle before that.
No,
a summoning circle, right? Get into that. Getting ahead of yourself there, Uskar. You didn't find that until you got to Waterdeep. But while you were going through the book that had fallen off the shelves, it actually turned out to be the journal of Sarah. There was several things in there that led to some pretty dark stuff. Summoning something from the abyss specifically, and also saw some symbology that rang some bells, especially for you, Uskar. Seeing the symbol of a dark deity that you had also seen on some of your brother's notes, I believe we said carved into his desk before he went missing or went off on his own. But all of these things led you all to head to the city of Waterdeep to investigate the manor and figure out what was going on there. Seemingly, just at the exact right moment, somebody appeared to you all. Kravis Undwilm came to you all and let you know that something might be amiss, and letting you all know that he had set up your transportation to Waterdeep and kind of inferred that you may not be able to trust everyone that you thought you could be able to. So you used the teleportation circle, got to Waterdeep, and found it completely unguarded, the other end of the teleportation circle, which was very odd. Every time that you've used a teleportation circle from Candlekeep to get to somewhere else, there's always been guards on station that had been there to mainly stop anyone that shouldn't be using the teleportation circles from doing so, but there's always been guards on standby. When you arrived at Waterdeep, there was no one to be seen in the entire structure, which was a bit odd. And then as you left, you did find your way eventually to Yellowcrest Manor, and found a caretaker there who had been charged with trying to sell the property, having not too great of a time of it, unfortunately, as the home that had recently been the site of a cult mass murder didn't really do too well in the market at the time. So he showed you around and was able to answer some questions for you, mainly the whereabouts of Lord Vialis at the time being. He had moved to a small town southeast of Waterdeep by the name of Greenest. He was able to show you the room, Lord Vialis' office, where the murders had taken place. Told you about a young man by the name of Veckin, Sarah's partner, Sarah's former lover, who was likely still in the town. You were also able to discern that there were several business associates of Lord Vialis that still operate here in Waterdeep, and that they were overseen and collected from by a man named Farrell, Lord Vialis' right-hand man. Farrell would be arriving in Waterdeep within 2 days to begin his collection process from those businesses that Lord Vialis still runs in the city. And I believe that is where we left off. You all, oh, one last thing. As you were all making your way out of Yellowcrest Manor and back into the streets of Waterdeep, a messenger had arrived, seemingly under some sort of enchantment, giving you a message that was signed by London Flattergast of Candlekeep, saying that you all should drop your investigation of Yellowcrest Manor and of your Lord Vialis, that it was being handled by others. Instead of going through the normal channels, the official channels, this message was delivered to you rather covertly. And getting some background noise there, guys.
Hank.
Oh, it's the TV. Okay. So the words on the letter vanished as soon as they had been read, and the man had no recollection of who had sent him or why, and honestly did not even remember any of the events that led up to this moment. So that is where we pick up today, in the city of Waterdeep.
We also found out that Uskar's only witness is dead.
Oh, yes. Morgan Rift was one of the servants that was killed in the manor.
And we found a letter that said, "Expedite our plans. Outside forces may be an issue soon. Meet at the new temple."
Thank you.
Okay, guys. I think that we should send a couple of messages to Candlekeep and then continue our investigation.
Uskar would agree.
What would those messages be? Would they be to London?
Argoth can deliver those messages. He should be able to make it there in a few hours. After which I can choose to dismiss him and then resummon him here. So,
Because we've got to wait 2 days for that other guy to show up, right?
yeah, we're going to need to wait. We also need to go visit the Troll Skull Tavern and talk to Veckin. Uskar, I suggest you write a note
On my official paper?
that Argoth can carry to London Flattergast. But before that note is delivered, I think Argoth should deliver a note to Kravis, letting him know that we received a message from London Flattergast recalling us to Candlekeep. And
Someone
that
possibly being London Flabbergast.
And yeah, apparently from London Flattergast, but that we are investigating leads that require our presence, and we will not be returning. So that's what a note that I will write to Kravis will be. You can tell London whatever you want.
Dear Mr. London Flabbergast, go fuck yourself.
Oh no. We need we need London to be on our good side because he's the only one that can tell us about the timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna guess that Uskar would probably write that something about this investigation is important, and they have leads that are of a timely manner that someone of an outside force can't, that are not going to be on time for.
And then it's a family matter.
I think he'd leave that out because I don't think London Flabbergast would want to have it or I don't think he'd look positively on it becoming a family thing and worried about that messing with Uskar's perceptions and stuff like that. I think Uskar's smart enough not to put any of that kind of doubt into London Flabbergast's mind. But definitely, like, hey, we're already on this. We're like this is very time sensitive. If we were to drop this, we'd lose a lot of time, and this is a very important, and that it needs to be done now, and that we're going to continue to investigate it.
Sounds good. And I am currently regretting not taking Voice of the Chainmaster as one of my invocations last level.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I don't even know what that is.
So, for starters,
it
extends the range on which I can just completely control my familiar to an astronomical level, but it also lets me speak in my voice or whatever voice I can make through it.
As I don't think you were in Tomb of Annihilation anymore when Vinderic died and my Pact of the Chain Warlock took over, because he did have that spell, that invocation.
So literally, as long as you're on the same plane, you can do all this stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's for certain situations, it is killer.
Oh god, yeah. That'd be I've played games where I'm like, that'd be great.
Yeah. But in this case, I'm just going to trust the fact that an imp polymorphed into a raven can turn invisible, can make the trip unaccosted, and seek out first Kravis and then London Flattergast.
Yeah.
Because he can transform back into an imp and go, I'm looking for London Flattergast. This is from Alistair and Uskar.
Well, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so we go to we find a tavern nearby where we can, get a corner booth and craft our little notes on some little scraps of paper that a raven can easily carry, and send Argoth on his way.
Sounds good.
Having an interesting phone call from Hank here.
I'm sorry. What?
It's fine.
We just heard some heavy breathing.
No, the younger goblin, after passing out in her high chair and me putting her down, decided to wake up and scream like a banshee.
That happens.
Because she ate only half of her food earlier. Despite the fact I couldn't keep her up to finish it up. So...
Very sure, no worries then.
Murderous spirit rage.
I was laughing and joking. I wasn't complaining. You're good.
I know.
It's been a few years for me, but I understand. What time of day is it now?
We will call it midday at the moment.
So
what do you want to do in the
We're currently there.
Yep.
I imagine that we'll probably need to wait until at least dinner time to be able to find Veckin at the Troll Skull. I doubt he's a morning drinker, or would he be? He's mourning for his lost love. He might be seriously day drinking.
Uskar,
we could head straight there.
Wherever we go, Uskar's just going to continue poring over this book
Sarah's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the yawning portal?
Yawning Portal is south of the Trade Ward, so south of the trades. I forget what this place is called. This trades district right here.
The trade district. So it's like right in this area.
Right.
We're just gonna lean over to Uskar and be like,
can't be too far from the mountain.
I'm just gonna lean over to Uskar and just be like, do you think there's invisible ink in here somewhere?
Now you've intrigued him, and he's just like looking fiercely and trying to figure out how to see it. Like you see him looking closer, bending it to different light angles.
Like, well, if it's like, the most common invisible ink, it might be something that you can like find by holding it to like a flame or something. If it's magical, I don't know.
I wish I had minor illusion right now.
Just write some messages in there.
You should see Uskar pull his tinderbox out and like light a match and just like slowly, like without getting too close to not burn the book, hold it over each page meticulously as he's trying to like see if there's any of this hidden ink after that tip from Adso.
Okay, so you're looking for invisible ink in Sarah's journal?
Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use a 23.
Wait. Really?
Wait. Yeah.
Uskar, I'm gonna say go ahead and save it because you do not see any sort of invisible ink or any indicators that there would be. Remember, Sarah was a servant. She was not. She was not.
I thought she was the daughter.
Oh, Sarah was just a housemaid.
Okay.
You're conflating the Raven adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
Sarah was just a housemaid.
So she doesn't have any of that special stuff.
No, she was learning to read and write in that journal.
Yeah. So Uskar's still gonna pour over it like almost obsessively, but not like completely obsessively.
I wonder if we can summon her spirit again.
Potentially.
What was her name?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Does know the last name?
Go ahead.
Oh, that was just it. I was
if
asking
she
if she had a
if
last
it-
name.
I don't believe her last name is mentioned. Her surname, as it were.
So while we're sitting in the tavern, like we sent off the letters with Argoth. I'll recall him in like 12 hours. Give him plenty of time.
Okay.
And discussing things. I am going to be using my helm of telepathy, detect thought stuff to scan all the surface thoughts of all the people within 30 feet of me in the tavern.
Okay.
Basically, I'm looking for anybody who's watching us.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of people around. Go ahead and make an investigation check at advantage. Okay. So the surface thoughts of those around you do appear to be pretty mundane. People just thinking about the workday ahead of them, having an afternoon beer on their lunch break or whatnot. Just, you don't really pick up on anything as far as anyone here that may be watching or, paying any special interest to you and your group.
Right. Okay. Was just checking. I'm. This scenario has me really paranoid.
Okay, so your letter's drafted, your messenger in the air and on their way south.
Yep. Shall we head to the Troll Skull? I believe that was in North Ward, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't see why not. We should go there.
Yeah. Even if he's not there yet, we can, talk to the.
Scope it out.
Yep, scope it out. Talk to the barkeep and find out what Vecna likes to.
Yeah.
That's it, Vecna.
Holy crap! This just got way more dangerous.
Oh.
What was his name again?
Vecna.
Vecna. Okay.
Yeah. So I transposed 2 letters and got Vecna. Yeah. Find out what Vecna likes to drink. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Okay. So moving your way up towards the North Ward to the Troll Skull.
I'll be making use of my knowledge of Waterdeep and my street urchin background to be sure we're not being followed or stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, get there very quickly. Okay. Right, so Alistair, you don't notice anyone following you. It's only been maybe about 2.5 hours since you received that letter, which with the words vanishing after you read it. So, hasn't been too long, and judging by what you've experienced so far, it doesn't seem like anyone is following you as of right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, late afternoon now as you all arrive at the Troll Skull. There's pretty much the same amount of people as at the last tavern that you were all at down by the Sea Ward. There's a decent amount of people here, more of the late lunch crowd. A half-orc man behind the counter looks rather. He looks very pissed off, but he's not like shouting at anybody. He just kind of scowls at anyone that comes up to him, serves them while scowling, and then goes about his business.
Alistair, seeing the person behind the bar, will actually leave. And shortly after that, will come back in as Alfgar, a tall female hobgoblin.
Okay. As you do, some people are kind of scooting away from the door, giving you like the side eye, like, oh shit.
He's just gonna kind of follow the lead of the rest of the party, kind of hang in back and look menacing.
What do you guys want to do?
Okay.
We start asking questions about Vecna.
We got a
Probably.
description of him from the old dude, right?
Yes, you have gotten a description of Sir Vecna.
Okay, so we don't really need to.
Well, looking around, do we see anybody who matches that description?
Make a perception check. Or investigation, either one would be fine.
Maybe I'll want to make that check.
I'll make the investigation check.
But you can, or I can do that.
Make
Either
one
way.
too. Yeah.
I was more making a suggestion than saying I was actually the one doing it. I'm actually making eyes with the bartender.
Usar's gonna find like a seat in the corner and like watch everybody and kind of pour over the book, but he's still trying to keep an eye on the whole bar.
Are there barmaids like serving, or are they going up to the bar?
There's definitely a few servers walking around, asking at tables and whatnot.
When one comes around to get our order,
Have you all
order
sat
around. Yeah,
around the table?
on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Order a round of drinks and ask the name of the tall drink of water at the bar.
Okay.
And we're visiting the name generator website.
No, I actually have.
Ah,
They have names.
They do. Man, I lost his name. Okay. Okay. So, yes, to the name generator. Oh, nice. I like that one. His name is Honug. So as you begin asking around the bar, you do get his name, the half-orc behind the bar. His name
Honug.
is Honug. And yeah, as you begin asking about Veckin, you do get some information back that he is well known here. He does frequent the area. He's actually at his home nearby right now. Some people just saw him making his way here. He's been out adventuring since the death of Sarah, kind of doing his best to bury his memories of her through adventure. But he is in Waterdeep currently.
are we able to get like directions to his home?
Yeah, pay him a visit.
Somebody needs to make a persuasion check.
I think that's you, Al.
Probably is. And if they don't like my persuasion, I'll switch to intimidation.
Please, 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 Chels or else.
So yeah, 15. Yeah, the people that you're talking to seem pretty confident that Veckin can handle himself. So, are you like walking around as like a group of like 5 people asking about Veckin, or is just one of you is just Alistair going as the hobgoblin?
Uskar is
Alistair.
sitting somewhere. Uskar's like not with the group.
Alistair would have like gone up to the bar, chit-chatted with the bartender, some of the, well, assuming not Alistair, but Alfgar, would have gone up to the bar, chit-chatted with the bartender, talked around, stuff like that.
Yeah, he would have been very gruff, very, very short, just like 1 or 2 word responses to anything. But who, Alistair, you're asking him about Sir Veckin?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, would ask why you want to know.
He owes me money.
He nods, says that Veckin's good with the sword, so be careful with how you ask for the money. But he's not one to stand between a man and his debts.
I don't think I have anything to worry about.
But yeah, Honog's not one to stand between a man and his debts. So he does give you directions.
I say thank you and pass a gold piece for the, like, probably silver piece mug of ale I'm drinking.
Yeah.
And
All right.
go join my companions and say, I know where Veckin is.
Oh? Well, I suppose we best be on our way to actually try to visit with the gentleman of the hour.
Sounds good.
Sorry, Hank, one more time?
Sorry, I just said, oh, Nathaniel just goes, oh? Well, then I guess we'd best be on our way to actually try to visit with the gentleman. Feel free to lead the way.
And Alfgar will do so.
Sure, nothing will go wrong.
Nothing
And
will
he'll
go
just tell us
following
what we
it,
will
so-
need, and we'll be on our merry way.
Okay. So, doesn't take you long to get to the residence that the barkeep did direct you all towards. Hey, we've got an Ace. Ace here.
I'm in the car, but
Okay.
Cool, yeah,
Cool.
at least you can listen in.
Indeed. Okay. So, tracking down Sir Vecin, Sarah of Yellowcrest's love interest. He is in town, and yeah, it doesn't take you all long. Doesn't take you all long to get to his location, to get to his home. It's a modest 2-story building. The barkeep did tell you that his was the lower apartment on the first floor.
Would you say that Alistair knows what a City Watch member from Waterdeep looks like?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that is my current disguise.
Are you gonna pretend to be one of his long lost buddies or something?
No. City Watch. Investigating murders. With my partner, Detective Uskar.
Hey, Whiskar,
Yes,
get
sir.
your nose out of that book.
Yeah, Uskar's in charge. I'm the watch along with him.
Uskar begrudgingly puts the book back in his backpack and is like, all right, you can kind of see him shuffling the papers he has just in case he needs them.
Okay.
All right. What are we asking this guy?
Probably what information he has about his love's passing,
Okay.
and if he has
Yeah,
any
like-
clues as to what may have actually
Who-
occurred.
Yeah, like who Lord Bialis is, what's his deal, where's Green?
Did-
We know where Green Mist is, right?
Well, and
Yes, you
there
have
was
got
this
you
one-
have you have
Yeah.
you have figured out where it is.
And perhaps most importantly, if there's any information she had passed along that could have resulted in her untimely demise as well.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Did she tell him anything that we don't already know?
Yep.
All right, so knocking on the door, shouting, Waterdeep City Watch, open up. What y'all doing?
Uskar's just gonna knock on the door, like, not a full cop pound, but almost a cop pound.
Oh god, I hate the cop pounds so much. It gets Okay. All right. So you all hear some movement inside of the house and some rather heavy footfalls making their way towards the front door. And then the door does in fact swing open and you all get your look at Sir Vecin. Obviously not wearing his full plate armor at the moment, but he does open up the door. He says, "Greetings, what can I do for the City Watch?"
Oh, Lord Vecin, my name is Uskar, and I've just...
No, Lord. No, Lord. The Sir is an honorary. I don't even really use it that often. What can I do for you?
We're here investigating the death of your love, Sarah, and just the travesties that happened at the manor.
The amiable smile on his face very quickly kind of dowers and says, "I wish I knew more of what had happened to her. I've already answered questions for the City Watch."
We're a special form of the City Watch, and we have deeper investigations to do. Would you please oblige us with just answering some more questions?
Of course, please, come in. I'll put us on some tea.
That's a much appreciated.
Leads you into his home. It's sparse. You can tell this man doesn't spend a whole lot of time here. There are some things that looks like he may have at one point. A lot of the furniture has adventuring gear and stuff like that piled on top of it. It looks like this place was once homey, but he has very much fully dove into his work as an adventurer in the past several weeks and months. But yeah, he leads you over to the kitchen and puts on some tea. Says, "I'm happy to help in any way that I can. I'm finding out what happened to Sarah, who's responsible for her end. So, what questions do you have for me?"
First,
Surface thoughts.
Okay. Lots of sadness, obviously. He's thinking about revenge. Like, he wants to find who did this. He's willing to help you all. There's not any sort of deception happening here. He wants to help you, and he wants to find out what happened. Those are the gist of what you're getting off the surface thoughts.
During Uskar's conversation, I will go back and forth between detecting surface thoughts on Sir Vekan and letting Uskar know if he struck a nerve or anything like that to help guide his questions and stuff like that.
First he's just gonna kind of say he's sorry for the loss of Sarah, stuff like the norms. But then he's gonna go into just kind of asking what kind of business was Lord Yellowcrest?
Lord Vialis.
Lord Vialis, thank you. Not the guy I'm talking to, the guy that owned that manor.
Right.
Vialis. I'm sorry, the names are. I'm great.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird. Yellowcrest is the name of the house.
Yeah,
Vialis
right.
is the former lord of the house.
So
Right.
asking what Lord Vialis, what kind of businesses he was. We're gonna start simple, like what kind of businesses he was into, stuff like that.
So he would let you know that he had a tannery and a couple businesses here. Went over those: a tannery, a leatherworkers shops, a cobbler, all in the trade ward.
Yeah.
Says, yeah, reaffirming the things you've already learned.
Yeah. He's also gonna probe what kind of work Sarah did for Lord Vialis.
He would let you know that she mostly attended Lord Vialis' wife and their children. That was mostly her responsibility. She didn't work with Lord Vialis much directly.
Next, he would probe and question about his the other guy that he works with that we're waiting for.
Farrell.
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 He would ask kind of what he knows about Farrell and what he had to do, what kind of guy he is.
Alistair, as soon as Uskar mentions Farrell, the very first thing that Vekan thinks is that snake.
Yep, and I will, like 6 seconds later, pass that to Uskar.
And Uskar's like, Farrell. So let's continue.
Right. So as you ask that question, that thought goes through his head, and then he says, Lord Vialis' right-hand man, his business associate. Very, very loyal to his master, he is.
Do you know? He'd be like, do you know of any? And he kind of searches for the right word and kind of ends with nefarious. Like, do you know of any nefarious things or anything that just kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth about Farrell?
Make a persuasion check, Uskar. You can do so at
Sure.
advantage since Alistair is helping you out.
Persuasion. I gotta find that.
Starts with a P.
Thanks, Ace.
Hey.
Nice.
Yay!
Nice.
Advantage.
So he says, Farrell is a sycophant. He will not. You see, he's trying to find a delicate way of putting this. Says he's a sniveling, conniving fool, that man.
How so?
Well, when I was trying to get Sarah's body interred here in the cemetery, he continuously, well, he was the one that tried to have Sarah's body along with the other servants' bodies moved from Waterdeep and sent to Greenest. Now, I understand why Vialis may have wanted his wife, his children, interred near him, but Sarah, the other servants, I was not having it. Pharaoh was trying to grease palms, trying to bribe who he needed to get those bodies out of the city.
It seems like he's hiding something with these bodies.
Mentally, I will ask Uskar, did those bodies leave the city?
Has he gotten his way? And
No.
Okay.
I was able to get Sarah's body and the other servants. I was able to get them into the city of the dead. And, well, you know how that is. Uskar and Alistair. The city of the dead is the walled cemetery of Waterdeep. People don't go in there. Once bodies are interred, they are considered lost. It is the proper cemetery and the proper burial ground for Waterdeep, but it's also extraordinarily dangerous and walled in.
Nobody goes in there after dark at all.
The defenses face in on that. So, you know what I mean? It's not that those walls aren't there to keep people out.
That's what his next question was, if she'd already been interred. So you answered that question.
Right, he says that he took care of that himself. Alistair, the background thoughts. There's no way I would let that madman have her.
About what I expected. I like this guy.
So you got to see her body, did you?
He nods.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary about her corpse?
Alistair, you are beginning to get some guarded, he says. None of the other investigators thought to ask that. What exactly do you intend to do?
This is a multi-level thing here. Figure out what happened at Yellowcrest Manor, and also figure out who killed the entire family and all the servants, but for what reason?
Sarah's tongue and the tongues of every victim had been removed.
Is there anything about that strikes like knowledge of the occult or anything with me?
Make a history check, please.
I suck at this, but
Nice.
Not bad.
Alistair,
I did grow up in Waterdeep, so
it rings some bells. Not anything specific from your time in Waterdeep, more your research at Candlekeep.
okay.
Rings some bells, but you do not get any specific names. As far as everyone's specific areas of interest, would any of you... I'm looking through your researching
Uskar looked
right
into
now.
some of the...
Yeah,
Uskar was looking into dark magic and occult activity, so...
Uskar, make a history check at advantage.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Again, Uskar, it's ringing a bell for you, but it is just the exact details are escaping you. Take a note, when you get back to Candlekeep with this information, you'll likely be able to do some extra looking into it and get some extra added info. But as of right now, I'll say that you can make another check to try to remember again tomorrow, as in like the next day in game. But as of right now, the details of why this is ringing bells and seeming familiar does still elude you.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. And he's gonna probe to see if the guy he's talking to has any kind of recollection or understanding of why this would have been something that happened.
So,
did Sarah mention anything specific to him about strange going-ons? And that was mentally to Uskar.
Yeah, he would have added that too.
Sorry, what was the question that you're asking him?
So he's asking if he has any knowledge of why those tongues would have been removed. If Sarah had hinted to some weird things going on in the home, kind of probing his knowledge about what he's heard from Sarah or what he knows about why someone would remove all the tongues from these people.
So he mentions that Sarah came to him and told him that she witnessed Lord Vialis doing something strange. That she saw him chanting in his office, and she thinks she had thought that he hadn't seen her, but he's basically corroborating what was written in the journal, that she saw him around that. She told him that, and he obviously thinks that is some culty shit right there, but that's about as far as he knows. Now, Alistair, you are sensing anger rising in this man. A big time drive to action is being sparked inside of Veckin right now as this conversation proceeds.
Yeah. I'm gonna go deeper. He needs to make a saving throw.
Wisdom, right?
I'm
Jesus.
Wisdom DC 13.
Okay. And is he... Sorry, that's a lot of text. Is he aware that you're doing this if he fails the save? Because he did fail the save.
If he fails to save, no, he is not.
Okay. So, Alistair, you're getting the blocks kind of falling into place here. The fact that you all are back, he's gotten the idea that you all are from Candlekeep just based on your appearance, and reputation of you all is beginning to spread and reaching him. He knows that you're from Candlekeep. He knows that your involvement here is, and your questioning of Lord Vialis is pointing all the fingers towards him. It's kind of like the Tetris blocks are all falling into place, confirming his suspicions, and he intends to go and confront Vialis himself as soon as you all leave. He has made up his mind about it.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
I am casting suggestion.
Okay. What is the course of action you are suggesting?
I am suggesting that he needs to consult a priest about his actions and follow that priest's directions implicitly.
What? Are you gonna dress up as a priest?
No.
Okay.
I thought you were just gonna make him forget.
Who is this priest? Do we know them?
No. He's gonna have to go find one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go. Let's. It's a wisdom save. DC what?
13.
Alistair, there is the fact that we are indeed forgotten grounds. There were some priests who would be, yeah, saddle up, go kill the son of a gun.
I realize that, but
Bring me his heart so I can use it for a ritual. Whew.
1 second. He did succeed on his saving throw.
okay.
Oh, did Alistair mentally tell Uskar any of this?
Yeah, I'm
So
giving you a
Uskar-
running commentary.
Okay, Uskar's gonna kind of act like he's kind of sensing this, and he's gonna be like, "We have no proof. We're trying to find out all information. So please don't do anything hasty yet. There's nothing pointing to anyone in specifically yet. Please don't do anything that might hinder our investigation."
Kind of sits back in his chair. He's served tea for all of you. It's quite delicious.
Mm-hmm.
What?
All of us are in
Yeah.
there, correct? All of us are in there, correct?
Yes, all 6 of you.
Okay. My apologies, kind of keep it quiet because one of my goblins had distracted me.
You're good.
We're just sitting pretty.
Nathaniel kind of looks at our host and just says, if this if this Lord has managed to try to cover stuff up so well where it's taking folks like us to try to uncover the truth, he has the resources where it's going to take more than just one person going alone to bring this guy down. If it turns out that he is responsible, are you willing to, if nothing else, wait to make sure that we're with you if it does come time to confront this individual? Basically, oh god, please don't let this guy run off and get killed by himself.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
What I am terrible at. I will.
Okay, you can't be good at everything.
That's
That's
performance.
performance.
Go to.
Yeah, that was
gonna roll the wrong
performance.
one?
Yep.
Be the same
It's
modifier,
always
though.
the same.
Same modifier. I am still going to throw the Flash of Genius thing on top of that 6 to at least make it 10 where it is even.
Put it in the 12 and make it 14 or 16.
No, we're gonna use that first roll since the modifier is the same.
Yes, the modifier's the same, so at least that way it's an even 10 and not abysmal.
So he kind of leans back. He kind of puts his puts a pair of fingers to his forehead and goes, "I'll be sure to stay out of your way."
At this point,
Is he lying?
Alistair, yeah, and Alistair is gonna do one step further, and I'm gonna speak directly into his mind. You need to stand down and let us do our work. Do not get in our way.
Alistair, he locks eyes with you. Puts both of his hands flat on the top of the table. You can see a very stern mask come over his face. Says, "I would appreciate you staying out of my mind first.
Oof.
Next, Sarah meant more to me than you could possibly know. You will not be telling me what I will and will not be doing when it comes to seeking vengeance for her death."
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna stay out of our way. Should we
At this
just knock
point-
him out?
Well, no, hold on. At this point, Oscar just kind of stands up, and him standing up is probably just barely as tall as everyone's sitting. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, guys, whoa, sir,
Love it.
sir. Listen, this is going deeper than just a mass killing. There's much more powerful things at play here, and we just want to see you live the life that Sarah would appreciate and that you could honor her memory with. We're just asking you to please take a step back, let us investigate further, and let us find out everything that we need to know before any retribution can be taken."
Maybe he could come with us for retribution.
Oh, yeah, we can
No,
always
it's
team up.
mentally to Uskar.
Uskar ignores it.
Okay.
So he takes a deep breath. You can see him calming himself. He almost looks a little embarrassed. I am sorry for my outburst. He kind of gives like a little finger, like, don't do that again to Alistair. And I can see that you all mean well here. You have to understand my stake in this. I will stay out of your way. I will not seek out my vengeance until I know that you all have done what you've needed to do.
That is, I very much appreciate that, sir, and I can promise you we will get to the bottom of this, and we will get answers for what has happened to your love, along with everybody else in that manor.
He nods and says, if you lot are who I think you are, I believe you will.
You see Uskar start putting his paper back in his pocket because he was gonna pull it out. And he's still standing. And he puts his hand out to shake the guy's hand and to thank him for all the information that he's given him, and that if he thinks of anything, or 7, that he could try to reach out to us. That anything he could think of would be helpful. That we're still going to be in town for another day and a half, I think, at least. So we'll be around this area still.
Since we need to speak to Farrell.
Yeah. Now, I'm not telling him that we need to talk to Farrell because
okay.
He has the disdain for Farrell, so I'm very much trying to omit specific details.
Okay.
So.
Right.
Uskar's doing. You can tell it's straining Uskar to be as tactful and
Right?
non-abrasive as he is. It's stressing him out.
Uskar diffusing a fight? What?
Yeah. Uskar's got a lot of.
important.
Uskar has a lot at stake here, so. Yeah. Uskar's got a lot at stake right now, so he's very much watching everything he says for the first time pretty much ever.
I'm very proud of you.
He's gonna need a drink after this.
I was gonna say Nathaniel is watching this, and he is preparing a flask and a cigar so that once they leave, he can just hand them over.
So,
Absolutely.
Uskar again apologizes for, or does the whole like sorry for your loss thing, and then also asks if he kind of probes to see if he knows anything about Morgan. Morgan, yeah, he's kind of probing one last time to see if he knows anything about Morgan.
Morgan is your brother?
No, Morgan. No. Morgan is my witness. No one around here seems to know who my brother is.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
But thank you. I might have to ask that too.
So, Beckon seems to have calmed down. Alistair, question, point of order on your Helm of Telepathy. If he's aware that you are using it, does that have any effect on it?
Surface thoughts, no.
Okay.
But at this point, I've stopped. I honored his request to stay out of his mind.
Okay. Okay. So, Uskar, he seems to be calming down, gaining control of his emotions. And he does say, he did seem a bit off. Joined the house staff a few months back. I did some looking into him. Seems like he was trying to cover up a past. Seemed, I wouldn't say he seemed like a nice person or anything along those lines. He was just trying to stay out of the way, trying to stay under the radar.
Uskar gets a contemplative look on his face, and it's like, that makes a lot of sense. And I got one last final question, and then I will leave you alone. And then he explains what his brother looks like to way too intimate of detail, and asked if he's seen anyone that looks like that around.
He thinks for a moment. Says, there was... I can't recall anything specific. The man was wearing a hooded cloak when I saw him, but one day as I was leaving the manor after visiting Sarah, was a dwarf that I had never seen before. He left the house after meeting with the Lord Vialis. He seemed to not want to be seen. He left through the back entrance, the entrance that I normally use when I would visit Sarah. Didn't realize any of us were there, or that Sarah or I had seen him. The rest of the staff was unaware of his visit. It was all very odd. He was most certainly trying to be secretive. I cannot guarantee that this dwarf is the man that you seek, but I do remember it being odd.
Quick flash of rage comes over Uskar's face that he tries to hide almost instantaneous as he realizes it came out. And he stands back, he had sat back down. He stands back up, he says, "Thank you," and you just see him, he just, with that information, walks straight to the door and straight outside.
I follow.
With the description that Uskar just gave of his brother, Nathaniel's going to pull out a sheet of paper and use the magical tinkering feature that artificers have to put an image of that description on the paper. Just because it might be a little easier in the future than trying to describe it.
Okay.
Uskar would appreciate that.
And just hands it over with the cigar and the flask of whiskey.
Uskar downs the entire flask and lights up and lights the cigar up.
Nice.
He's a little rattled. And as we get outside, he looks at him and says, "Fucking rage. Rage. I knew he was at the bottom of this." And then he just kind of walks off back to the tavern they were at.
So I guess we're heading to Troll Skull. As we're traveling along, Uskar, is it possible Morgan was maybe investigating whatever it is that the Lord of the Manor was involved in?
Uskar explained that Morgan took off after being the only possible witness or person of question of a murder of the son of a blacksmith. I believe it was, if I remember correctly. He went into hiding because it was possible that it was one of the larger groups or something tied deeper into one of those hooded groups of the Forgotten Realms. The kid's name was Dane, was murdered, and Morgan was possibly the only witness or person of question. He went into hiding after seeing this, which is why Uskar was looking for him, because it seemed to be deeper than just some random murder.
Right.
So.
So we have 36 to 48 hours before Pharaoh arrives back in Waterdeep.
Quit squeaking.
We have about another 6 hours before I will recall Argoth and see whether or not he was able to deliver our messages to Candlekeep. So now the question is what do we do during that time?
Uskar's going to drink for the legit drink for the first time since we've been in in Waterdeep.
Can I suggest a location?
Uskar just wants a drink.
Follow me then. I will lead you to a drink.
That's
Where
the
are we
spirit.
going?
We're going to
Scar
the yawning
just-
portal.
Oh, fun. It's always great there.
And not even have to control Brayla this time. Yay!
All right, everyone. So, as you are all making your way over to the yawning portal, let's go ahead and take our break, and we will arrive
Okay.
there when we return.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
See y'all in 10 then.
Indeed.
Excellent.
All right, everyone. So we are back. You are still in the city of Waterdeep. Have just questioned Sir Vekin. He has given his word to stay out of things for now, and you all are heading into the city to essentially wait the couple of days until Farrell, Lord Vialis's right-hand man, arrives in the city to check in on his business associates. So, you're all heading over to the Yawning Portal Tavern. All right. So yeah, the Yawning Portal is a landmark of Waterdeep. It is a large, very crowded tavern as you all make your way into it. There is certainly no shortage of people here, especially now, having made your way from the North Ward over to Sir Vekin's home and then now south towards the northern end of the Castle Ward. It's probably about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, closing in on evening, the sun beginning to set behind the tall buildings of Waterdeep as you all approach the Yawning Portal. Anything that you all want to do on the way there, or are you just heading straight for the tavern?
I'm gonna ask Uskar if he's okay.
He doesn't really answer you.
He's not okay.
He's not okay.
I'm just gonna say that outright, out loud to Brayla. I don't think he's okay. But like, this is his whole shtick. Like, he's really hyper-focusing on. This is the key to his amnesia, basically.
Y'all would
I've
notice that Alistair is almost seeming as focused as Uskar as we head to the Yawning Portal.
Okay, what's eating you?
Crickets?
Not gonna answer? Wanna be mysterious?
Listen, every group needs an emo kid. I thought it was Rigel.
Right?
Yeah, okay, maybe we're all just emo kids.
I mean, I just want to throw out there and say that I was not expecting the Roaring 20s to roar just this hard as it has so far. But, like, I was just hoping that, like, emo would come back and we'd get all that, but I wasn't expecting, like, a plague and, like, prohibition and all this shit to be happening. Like, it's too close. It's too much. Nope. But yeah, emo is, like, I love how much emo is making a comeback to the point where, like, mainstream media is like, look at this emo couple, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Like,
That's not emo.
exactly the point. Like, CNN just had just let loose this article, and it was like, look at the emo couple at the Grammys or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Let me literally put my nose ring back in. That's how bad it is.
I started painting my nails again.
Here we go.
Lovely.
Eh.
Still have a hole where my belly button ring used to be.
Nice.
I used to have my tongue pierced.
God. We are all the emo kids.
I have a tribal heart tattoo on my chest.
Oh, you win. You win.
Piercings, no tattoos.
I've lost
Sorry,
a little bit
Rigel.
of respect. I've lost a little bit of
Obviously, I was
respect
just-
for you.
Have we,
Thank you, that was the point.
We have arrived at the Yawning Portal.
You have.
Hank, you don't count. You're homeschooled.
Why?
Why is he homeschooled?
No, why does
'Cause
that,
he's
why
in
does that make
Oklahoma.
it not count?
Oh, because how can you be emo when the worst thing in the world is you have to stay home?
Like,
I got news to you. My daughters were homeschooled until high school, and they were very well, especially my youngest is very emo.
Oh God! We just admitted all of this on something that's going to be on YouTube.
You can always edit it out.
I
don't care.
Started.
just redacted.
Look, everybody, everyone else is talking about all the tats, piercings, all that other stuff, and I'm just like, dear God, I have just worn t-shirts, just worn jeans, western shirts, and boots since I've been.
He has no distinguishing features.
We call that the alternative.
Y'all. Yep.
Oh my God!
We called that when I was at Fort Sill in the late 90s.
Wow. Culture.
Okay.
We live in a
What piercings do
society.
you have?
All right. Okay, so yeah, arriving at the yawning portal.
Scar heads straight to the bar, ask for the biggest glass or flagon that they've got of mead and 3 cigars.
Wow.
You can't smoke them all at once.
Watch him.
He is.
I tell you, watch
Challenge
him.
accepted.
Very just almost a distant look in his eye, like almost that thousand-yard stare look, but not completely.
Please don't make Brayla be team mom. She is not emotionally equipped for that.
You know, we just gotta let him feel these feelings until we've solved this.
All
All
right.
right,
Any of y'all
Edzo, you're with me.
On there?
No, never.
What was the question?
Have
Been
any
here
of you
before.
been down there?
No.
And I point to the portal.
No, I have not.
Aren't there monsters down there?
Have I ever been thrown to the bottom of the ominous giant chasm in the middle of this bar? No, I have not.
Want to go down?
Say what you like.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh no, I was being facetious and he took me seriously.
Okay, that's one way to derail a campaign.
I mean, if it's probably the easiest way you could possibly derail a campaign is by going into something like freaking Dungeon of the Mad Mage. It's literally
is there a
just giant dungeon after dungeon.
Is there a
Yeah.
reason you want to go down there?
Yeah, what's down there that we won't
It's-
need?
That's right.
Because we're on a bit of a clock.
Yeah, Uskar's just gonna smoke himself to death if we don't solve this.
Like
I
fine
came-
meat.
Uskar's just not paying attention to you guys talking about this portal at all.
I was 5 when I came up that lift.
Oh,
Who put you
okay.
down the lift?
Hmm?
Who put you down the lift?
No, down the lift. That's where I came from.
Oh,
I was born
Perhaps-
there.
Perhaps, can we do a whole backstory
We-
investigation in 6 hours or a day?
I will assume my actual form.
I think we've seen it before.
You have seen it before. So, I am an amalgamation of races. I obviously have Drow and Tiefling for sure. Major influences.
Pretty.
And I will say my mother brought me through the Underdark. Somewhere near here. And was killed. And y'all have heard this story before about adventurers killing her near Skullport.
Ew.
They brought me up the lift, and he points They point to the lift.
The lift is currently down, Alistair.
Oh, okay. He points to the rope.
Yeah, you can definitely see the mechanism that would lower it down.
I'm sorry to hear about your mother.
It must kind of be painful being back here. Understand that, but thank you for joining us to help Uskar.
Would you also like to drink?
Yes, we could all just have
Yes.
a very heartfelt drink and talk of feelings.
Kind of
Someone
hears
grab
you
the
talk about.
And there's
Uskar hears you
always-
talking about feelings, and he just scoffs at you and goes back to drinking.
Listen, you little shit.
there's always a possibility of leaping down the hall.
For who?
Me.
Well, I guess you're gonna catch the rest of us.
Oh.
Because Uskar, I imagine, lands like a rock. I'm in plate.
I can't catch.
Then there will be no leaping, sir.
Legit, Uskar probably wouldn't follow because that would derail his investigation.
Yeah.
Perhaps we wait until the lift ascends and see what the individuals who come up have to say.
Yep.
A
Meal, drinks, spend lots of money.
Come on, Nate. Booze. One in Rome.
Uskar, drank the stuff I brought.
Well, we'll get you some more.
You drink whiskey.
Uskar pulls out the flask, throws it to the bartender, and says, "Fill it and give it to that chub."
A very large, again, a half-orc behind the bar reaches out his hand and grabs it. Don't throw shit in here. Proceeds to fill it.
Uskar just shrugs.
My flask is not shit. It is.
He looks at it. Right, he looks at it and looks back at you and gives you like a.
It's shit.
It looks as it's shit.
Right, so yeah,
I
lots of
admit it
people
is
coming
more-
and going.
Um,
While you all are hanging out and having your drinks, an entourage of people enters into the tavern, all sits around at a table and just begins drinking, chatting amongst one another.
How long has it been since Argoth went on his mission?
Probably about 6 hours now.
Okay. Well, in about 6 more hours, I'll bring him back and get a report.
Creature report.
So were you all, you're all just hanging out in a booth, or did you move over to a private lounge area? What you done?
Uskar's at the bar.
At the
Can we
bar.
do a private lounge? That'd be fun.
There's, I mean, a couple of you that are familiar with the Waterdeep have probably been to the Troll Skull to the Yawning Portal a couple times. There are private rooms that you can rent out. Uskar's at the bar.
So, a table or something where we can keep an eye on the portal.
Oh yeah, okay.
Brayla might be flirting with the half-orc. Sorry.
Okay. Name's
Oh,
Grimlock.
you get to float to help work this time.
This time.
I need Uskar and Brayla to make perception checks.
Retro. Well, that's not great.
What's everyone else's passive perceptions?
Like 11 or something like that.
Rigel has a high passive perception, right?
Let me check mine.
He does. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
wait,
hang on.
14.
Mine is 19.
Holy shit.
Nice.
I've got to move
Rigel.
to 22 in my Drakenheim campaign, so...
Rigel, as you're all hanging out at the bar, now that you are of legal drinking age after your extended vacation, you do hear some chatter from a group of people that's sitting across the portal from you all. I have Nathaniel, Adso, Rigel, and Alistair all sharing a table while Brayla flirts with the bartender and Uskar drinks himself into a stupor. You hear from across the portal a group of people talking that catches your attention. They talk about how early they are. They weren't supposed to be here for 2 days. Going on about the shopkeepers won't be ready, and another man silences them all and says they'll be ready when we tell them to be ready. Rigel, looking across, you see a group of 8 men. One of them a rather flamboyant-looking elf. Several of them armed. A few of them not armed, but you can see that they are keeping a close eye on the area.
Were we ever given a description of that guy?
Farrell.
I don't
Farrell?
think anyone ever asked for a description of him.
Okay.
Oopsie doopsie.
I'm going to use my telepathic abilities to call attention to all of this to Alistair, in case he wasn't up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Rigel,
definitely was
you're the
not
only
paying
one.
attention.
You're the only one that's noticed so far.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I definitely wasn't paying attention. I was singularly focused on the portal itself.
All right, so I just look at you, convey this. I don't think I've ever spoken to any.
I speak
but I
back
do it now.
mentally to you. Hi, Rigel. Those guys over there. And I will detect surface thoughts over there.
So you're getting a lot. There's a lot going on here. Obviously, there's a lot of people here, and you do get the surface thoughts of several of the men that you're focusing on, and you do indeed get the name Lord Vialis. You get several names, mainly as they're talking to one another. These things are coming and going over their surface thoughts, but you do get questions. Should we just wait? What if they don't have the money? We're early, things like that. Alistair, you do get enough from their surface thoughts to determine that these are the guys that you all are waiting for.
So Farrell is there.
You get that impression. No one has said the name Farrell. But you certainly get that impression.
How many people that are at that table?
There are 8. Split between 2 tables.
We could take them.
The most well-dressed one there.
Yep.
Suggestion.
Okay.
Go buy Uskar a drink and tell him your name.
Oh my god.
Shit. Well,
Well.
Do we determine how drunk Uskar is at this point?
Wow. So, Alistair, you see somebody, you see the flamboyantly dressed elven man suddenly stop talking, stand up, and begin making his way over to the bar.
And I'm following his thoughts the entire way.
That guy's looking like he's having quite the day. I think he needs a drink. Go get him a drink. Gets up, walks across the bar, past some people, and he sits down next to you, Uskar. Says, "How you doing, friend? Looks like you're having a rough day. My name's
just kinda
Farrell.
grunts at
Can I
him.
get you a drink?"
Oh,
As soon
that's him.
As soon
You
as
got him.
Uskar hears Farrell, like, he sobers up. And everyone just sees Uskar's head move faster than they've ever seen it move.
It's like, what?
And eyes big, everything, and he's like, Farrell.
Like,
You said your name is Farrell?
Farrell, yeah, that's me. I don't know why, you just really looked like you could use a drink, so I wanted to come over and offer you a drink. He's kind of getting confused.
Why don't we have a couple of drinks together?
Yeah.
And Uskar does some kind of challenge. He's gonna challenge him to a shot contest or something.
Oh no!
Drink more contest.
We're just gonna kill him.
No. Uskar knows the limits. He's just trying to get him to a nice coaxable drunk level to where we can get him to possibly leave with us.
Oh.
Away from the other 7 people. Or I can
You
just
all
get him
would
to
notice
talk.
that at least half of them are kind of looking over and watching Farrell.
Which is fine.
I will pick the most gullible-looking one and go deep on his thoughts.
Okay.
13 wisdom.
Wonder what they're serving for dinner here.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Okay.
Uskar just looks at Farrell. You want to make this a little competition?
He's
It's been a shit day.
scratching at his head and he looks over and he's like, Barkeep. One drink for whatever he's having. And he gets up and he's like, no, I think I'm just gonna get you a drink. Looks like you need it.
Under his breath, he says, "Are you a coward?"
That's not a very nice thing to say to somebody that just paid you the courtesy of getting you a drink. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bid you adieu, sir.
Uskar stands up, ignores the drink that he bought him, and says, "Well, I was trying to do this the easy way, but we need to talk."
Ooh.
He kind of tilts his head up and to the right and lifts up a hand and puts up 2 fingers and does the gesture, and you see the 8 guys rise up from their seat.
Oh my god. Scar?
What's the bartender's name again?
Grimlock.
At this point,
I think we need to see a map.
Uskar walks around Farrell and looks at everyone, pulls out his papers from Candlekeep, and says, "If you mess with me and my official Candlekeep business, you will be messing with the powers of Candlekeep. You better sit your asses down."
They, in fact, do not sit their asses down, but they do kind of pause because Farrell has taken the 2 fingers and extended all of his entire hand out for a flat hand, and they do stop moving forward. He says, "I believe we've got some sort of misunderstanding here. I'm a simple businessman here to conduct business with some of my lord's men."
What kind of businessman needs an entire army of an entourage?
Well, I do carry around the profits of several businesses. I do need protection. I need... These men here are simply my bodyguards.
Oh, we need to discuss something, and we don't have to leave the bar. And he pulls out his battle axe and hands it over to Brayla. And he says, "I mean you no harm, but we need to discuss some things."
Says, "Seems fair enough. Be more than happy to help you. I am simply here doing my job."
And then
What do
he
you need
asks
to know?
him, well, he's like, "Well, not here. Let's go into a private room."
Says, "I know very little about you, sir. I think I will stay well within the view of my bodyguards."
Well, you can bring one with you, but they must stay at the door. And I'll bring one of mine.
I'm
And he
not
looks.
really sure you want everyone hearing what we have to say to you.
Yeah, but he says it'll be me and one of mine, and you and one of yours. And he looks at Alistair.
I'm game.
Make a persuasion check, Uskar.
Okay. Hey.
Pretty good.
Okay. So, he looks over towards the bartender, says, "Red room. Is it available?" Barkeep nods. He points past Nathaniel and Alistair, Rigel, and Adso to a curtained-off room right behind all of them.
Is Grimlock in this dude's pocket?
Make an insight check.
God damn it.
Oof.
Insight.
Really, you are unsure, but your paranoia is not abated by what you have learned. So,
To fight him.
as Farrell gets up, he gestures over and he makes eye contact with one of the guys that were hanging nearby behind, and gestures over towards a red curtained room, pretty much right behind where the other four of you are currently sitting. And yeah, you see that his other bodyguards begin making their way a little closer. They've sat at a table right next to the other four of you and are keeping a close eye on what's going on in that room. But, yeah. Alistair, Uskar, in a red curtained room with Farrell and a very well-armed bodyguard.
Uskar, sounds good. All right, here we go.
Look, buddy.
I had to find a way to do it, not be out in public. So Uskar's just gonna sit down and he's gonna introduce himself. That now he's gonna attempt to be a gentleman, apologize for being
Crass.
crash. Thank you, crass. And just say that this is something. It was a very important investigation, and I would like to just be able to talk to you without many ears around.
An investigation. I'm not sure what I can help as far as any investigations goes. I'm a simple businessman, here to collect profits for my lord.
Sounds like
That's
a script.
How far away am I from where this?
You all should be on the map now.
Oh,
Yep.
so we are.
So, well, I understand you may be more than just a simple businessman. Then he says, we're here to discuss the travesty that happened at Yellow Crest.
He nods, puts a frown on his face, brow furrows. So, yes. Terrible, terrible travesty that was indeed. You did specify you did specify the Yellow Crest, right? The Yellow Crest
Yes.
tragedy. Okay.
Yes.
Just surface thoughts.
Okay. Surface thoughts are, what do these people have to do with Yellow Crest? He's trying to figure this out in his head right now.
So we have been to Yellow Crest and we've seen the devastation that happened there. What do you know about what happened?
Well, I'm afraid that I know just about as much as anybody else. It is a terrible, terrible injustice what happened to those poor people. And my lord's family. He shakes his head and he says, well, he's quite broken up by the tragedy, you see. Hides away in his little home. Doesn't really like being disturbed by anybody. Doesn't speak to very many people anymore. Very, very broken up by this terrible tragedy.
He doesn't sound very sincere to me.
Mm-mm. Sorry, my brain is... I had all these questions and they're gone.
Take your time.
I'm trying not to be over direct, but I feel like I should be just direct with this guy since I have Alistair right there.
Where are the bodies?
Where are the bodies?
Yeah. Where are the tongues? Why the tongues?
Where are the detonators? Where are they?
Why, Gamora?
Who's Gamora?
In Uskar's mind, he hears, "I can shock him if you want."
Uskar just shakes his head. Fuck. It seemed that there was much more to this massacre than just plain murder, missing tongues, a bloodbath,
By
and some
gods, that's awful.
And some strange markings. Uskar pulls out the picture of his brother and lays it on the table and says, "And I'm pretty sure it's tied to this man."
Make an
What do
insight
you know
check,
about
Uskar and Alistair.
Boo.
Can electronic dice go in timeout?
Or is that first?
Insight, Alistair?
Lives out. Oh, there he is.
Alistair, you sense a very brief tightening of the muscles in Farrell's face. He has very, very thorough control, but with a 14, you can definitely sense a slight change that very quickly returns to just this facade of calm as Uskar shows him the picture. Uskar, you did not notice that.
So I had a brief internet blip. What was the picture of?
My brother.
Ah.
So.
I am afraid I have never seen this person before in my life. Do you believe that this man had something to do with the terrible tragedy that befell my lord's family?
Less to do, but more of
Uskar, he knows who your brother is.
Alistair still reading surface thoughts?
Yeah.
It has gone into almost full-fledged panic. How does he know who this is? Who are these people? What is his mind begins racing.
Oh?
Interesting. Uskar just continues.
One last thing, Alistair. A whole heaping dose of fear.
This guy?
From Farrell, as Uskar shows him that picture.
Yeah.
So,
do you tell me any of this?
Alistair?
He's having internet issues.
I am.
Alistair, do you relay any of that information to Uskar?
Yes.
Okay. So Uskar's gonna act like he noticed the hesitation.
Okay.
And be like, I'm a trained investigator, and I can see there's some pensiveness with this photo and this man, and you're not telling me the whole story.
So his facade cracking for the first time. I believe I've said as much as I'm going to on this matter. And he slides his chair back. Says, Yakin?
As he goes to slide his chair, Uskar's gonna hook his foot around the leg of the chair.
He stops. Are you detaining me, sir?
No, but I would like to keep this civil. I'd like to avoid any unnecessary altercations or escalations and just get to the bottom of this.
Uskar, I want to make sure this stays fair. and I cast Dimension Door.
Oh, what?
And
Oh, yeah?
I'm now here.
Alistair, you just bounced?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Dimension
Uskar
Door is an
shrugs.
action to cast?
Yes.
Okay, give me just a second. Did you announce that you were leaving, or did you just leave?
I told Uskar, I said, I think I need to be elsewhere. And snap my fingers and leave.
Said that out loud or to Uskar's mind?
Out loud.
You left him in there with 2 dudes?
Mm-hmm. He's Uskar. He can handle that.
So... Farrell looks over at where Alistair was just sitting, looks back towards Uskar. He says, I don't know what you're talking about, but I have never seen this man before in my life.
Scar looks intensely into Farrell's eyes as he says, "Where is Rage?" Just the first time he's actually said his name, and he says it specifically as he's watching this guy's eyes.
Make an insight check, Uskar.
I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. With a 17, you get genuine confusion. He does not associate a name to this picture you've shown him. With a 17, you can tell that he is afraid you showing him this photo has spooked him. He is scared that you know who this person is, and he is scared of that person. He does not know the name that you have just given him, though.
Interesting.
Uskar, so as reading these things on this face, Uskar, in an attempt to sedate him, will do a light explanation, explaining that that is his brother, and he knows that there are some nefarious things tied to his brother, and he needs to know what his brother has gotten his lord into.
Uskar, you see a lot of things going across this guy's face right now. Mainly fear, and you see determination beginning to tighten his features. He then takes a deep breath, sits up straight, looks back at the man behind him and says, Yakin, it is time that we depart from here. If this man attempts to stop me, you stop him. Farrell stands.
Uskar, as Farrell stands, Uskar is going to twist the ring on his finger and attempt to ring a ram his guard.
Oh no!
Uskar, you'll get that off. Let's roll initiative.
All right.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, new API, everybody. Alistair, Carl, you've seen this API.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Oh wow, that is very bright.
Colorful, I know.
Yeah,
Dang it.
it is.
As long as I spent some time messing around with it yesterday, Carl. As long as I'm not messing with things, it doesn't spam the thing. It's just when I start trying to manipulate things manually, like I'm used to doing, it's when it starts messing up. But as long as I'm not doing that, all is good.
I had rolled a 20, and I didn't click my dude.
Just click your number and redo it, and change it.
Yeah,
There
you
you
can
go.
change it yourself. So what happens is whenever,
That's fun.
whenever we go and change anything manually, the person whose turn it was and the person whose turn it is now pop up in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's Brayla's turn.
Brayla is as far from everyone as can be.
And Brayla has Uskar's battle axe.
Yep.
I was hoping she'd inch closer, but she was too worried about hitting on somebody.
Well, now you've learned something about her. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Barela.
So first off,
Yes.
Uskar turns and Ring of Rams the guy. So, how exactly does Ring of Ram work?
Attacks one creature within 6 feet. The ring produces a special ram set attack of roll of +7 bonus on hit. Each charge you spend, the target takes 2d10 force damage and is pushed 5 feet away. So he would have done it 2 charges. Since he's in here alone.
Okay.
So I need to roll a. Yeah. 1d20 plus 7. Hey!
Holy
And it's
shit.
critted, so that's going to be 40, or it's going to be 8d10.
8d10. Wow.
Bye.
Usker murks a dude in the fucking red room.
Right? You all are just hanging out back there, and all of a sudden you hear.
Boom!
You're just the entire, like, everything is going normal, the music is all going, everything's fine, and all of a sudden you hear a chair squeak, like somebody just shoved a chair back while trying to stand, and then a moment later you're boom!
58 damage, and he's pushed back 10 feet.
That's our cue.
Rachel, you actually get a good look at this man stand while reaching for his sword when suddenly you all hear that boom and this man is literally yeeted through the wall a good 10, 15 feet back, and you see him crumple against the opposite building outside of the tavern, far against the back wall. Yeah, he's dead.
Amazing.
Literally, as we were walking into this room, Uskar was fiddling. I meant to say it, but I didn't want to say it. That he was planning on using the ring either way.
Brayla.
That's how Uskar announces that now everyone knows there's something to come to.
Everyone in the bar kind of everyone is startled and shocked by that, but everyone kind of just gets up and starts leaving. Like, this is not too out of the ordinary of an occurrence here. The bartender, you see him kind of just like shake his head in annoyance, and you hear like a click trap, and Brayla, you see him open up a trap door beneath his bar and just walk on down.
It's for nothing.
Yeah, it's not my business.
So this
Happens all the time.
This group of bodyguards, this whole shebang of them, what did they do when they saw the dude get murked?
Exploded from through a wall and out the building. The three that could see it immediately, their eyes go wide, and they immediately stand and start drawing weapons, prompting the rest of them to do the same.
Rigel goes first.
Where's Rigel?
Listen, dude.
Rigel just rolled.
I see him on a 13 here.
Oh, he just rolled again. Weird. Never mind.
I wasn't in the turn order, so I just
fixed it. Okay.
You have your character selected when you.
All right.
Rayla.
Wait, Rigel got a 27. He just didn't.
He doesn't actually have a 27.
He's actually on a 13.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I was trying to do this all of this without disrupting the action. Sorry.
Brayla is going to just kind of step up and be like, don't do anything rash. And
he's gonna look back towards you, the one closest to you, Brayla. He's gonna shout, "Stay out of it!"
Well, I'm gonna step up again and basically tee off against his chest with my 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 warhammer.
Yeah.
Pew pew. Does a 13 hit?
13 hits that man.
Yes. She's basically like she's trying to play golf, but higher up.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
Trying to hit 2 balls instead of
No.
one.
She's aiming for his chest, not his junk.
I was about to say, lucky jumps.
Office is higher up is bam.
Okay.
So she'd also like to. I think I'm almost positive she has Crusher. Hold on. Yes.
She does.
Oh,
so
man.
She can bap him back 5 feet.
Pressure down below the belt.
Yeah.
But fine, she aimed for his junk. That's
Oh no!
So he'd just be 5 feet up in the air. Is that okay?
He hits a very high pitched note, goes 5 feet up in the air, and then drops.
Was that the guy who yelled at me, by the way?
Yeah.
Perfect. She's gonna give him one more because she gets 2 attacks.
Because just cruel.
So instead of swinging up, she's swinging down on him.
Oh god.
And I'm not doing 13. Sweet.
13 hits.
Why is it not letting me do my damage? There we
The
go.
word Warhammer on.
Okay, another 6.
Yeah, you just click the pink thing and
All right, next time I will do that.
All right.
That is your. I guess now she hits him 5 feet under the table. Knocks him under the table.
Slides over.
I think Crusher Feet is once per turn.
That's fine. Just
Sorry.
He's got
Yeah,
nowhere
I
to go
know.
anyways.
yeah, just he's surrounded. That's your warning.
His eyes are just like, why is... Ah! Okay.
Make better choices.
Brayla,
I'm done.
up on that purple and red card that's up there, you can hit the underneath your name, EOT, it'll end your initiative.
Oh, cool.
Alistair, go ahead.
Oh, neat.
So, this group of guys here, they are not standing down, yes?
They have all stood up and drawn weapons. Except for these 2 guys who have just stood up.
Okay, this
They
guy
have
looks
visible weapons.
significantly different. What can you
He
tell me
is
about
wearing
him?
heavier armor. He is carrying a long sword as opposed to just a blunt instrument. He has a heavy crossbow that he has set on the table in front of him. He seems to be more of a soldier.
Yeah. And so I'm targeting him.
God,
with an
Uzma,
Eldritch
you just
Blast.
murked that man.
So
I know,
that's
that
a
was
21
amazing.
hit.
21 hits.
So that's 12 force and 3 additional force.
Okay.
And actually 3 bludgeoning. And he moves 15 feet directly away from me, so that puts him here.
Okay, so goes over the railing, and you hear
I.
You do not hear impact.
Yeah, the next one will go against the person behind him. A 23 to hit for
23
5
hits.
damage, but he moves 10 feet straight back.
Okay. I should have done this for the first guy. I'm gonna do it for both of them right now, real quick. I'm gonna give them dexterity saving throws to avoid falling all the way in. Okay, the first one failed impressively, and this guy, he takes the damage, is pushed. See if he goes all the way in. Dexterity saving throw results. I'm gonna call it a DC 16 since he's taken damage. We'll get that DC up there. That's
I am.
Hi.
bye. Once again, you just this slowly fading scream as this man falls to his doom. You do not hear an impact, but what you do hear a few moments later is a massive, deep, powerful roar emerge from the bottom of the pit and come flying up.
That doesn't sound good.
Next.
Oh yeah, he's
We're just
dead.
feeding the beast.
Daniel.
So we still have a small collection of various bodyguards here that haven't gone yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Nathaniel, how he had a little small, almost baseball-sized thing on the table that he was messing with. Seeing them draw weapons, he tosses it in the middle as he judges to keep it out of the range of everybody else.
Okay, Web, good stuff.
And he's trying to put it around all the bad guys and keep Brayla outside of it.
Okay. Grab a template.
20 by 20. And as the little ball falls, it just kind of erupts in these kind of green and black strands of sticky ichor just kind of come from each of the little nozzles on it. Or it kind of collapses down, trying to tie them up like a spider web would.
Restrained is the condition given to them, correct?
If memory serves me correctly, let me double check. Just for the sake of simplicity, so everyone can see it. Restrained as long as it remains in the webs or until it breaks free.
Okay. Okay. Affected 2 of them. 2 of them saved.
The guy I beat up saved.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We'll say that he's on
tears.
his knees crying, and so all the webs just went over him.
And I'm also going to instruct my Steel Defender to head towards those curtains and to intercept if any of the bad guys try to come out of there.
Okay. Rigel.
Okay. I'm gonna move to this point here. And I'll just start by attacking this guy here.
Okay. 20 hits.
Okay, this will be my Dread Emperor attack.
It's a good hit.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Oh my. Sweet. Okay, and then it's a 1d8. Let me see. Oh, it's been so long. Yeah, okay, so he does an extra 1d8. And I got a 1.
Damage is damage.
Damage is damage.
Damage is damage. Okay, so those were my 2 attacks, but I think that second attack was free, right? Yep.
Yes.
Dread Ambusher, you get 3 attacks on your first turn.
So then with my last attack, I'm going my breath weapon.
Oh, God. You guys.
Yep, they're in a nice cone in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
What's the solution to the problem? Murder. Every time. Just murder.
I don't know another way.
Throw their weapons first.
Okay.
We didn't know.
Oh, God.
So it's a
There's
dex,
no
it's a
commotion
dex save for
boost
all of them in the path, right? It's a 15-foot cone?
Yeah. Yep, it's
That's
a
all,
DC
that's
14.
all of them.
DC 14.
Oh, no.
And
The guy back here is not affected. 1,
Okay,
2, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's everybody but the guy in the back.
that's cool.
10 points.
and the restrained ones get disadvantage.
Nice. Okay, so that is a dex save. DC 15? What's the DC?
DC 14.
14, thank you.
And 2 of them are at disadvantage.
Yeah, I've got it. This is not going to go well.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, all 3 of them fail. What's your breath weapon look like, Rigel?
I think it looks like it's just an exhalation of sort of like foul kind of gassy, kind of foggy breath, and there's kind of like just a faint hint of skulls inside the like
Nice.
fog
What
as
time
it kind of like forces out.
What type of damage does it do?
Force.
Force. Okay.
Feral is gonna look around, and he's gonna look past you, Uskar, towards the hole that just got blown in the wall. And
Feral survived that.
Feral was not. He was behind. Like it was the exact opposite direction.
Oh, I thought it was Feral who he hit. Sorry.
No, I need to
Here you
question
go.
Feral.
He's gonna try to run out the
Got it.
hole that just got made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Body
And
slam.
Ushar's gonna get a chance to hit him.
Opportunity attack, so you can choose to use grapple for that if you'd like.
I'm going to attempt to grapple him.
Okay, athletics check. Oh God.
Mm. Uskar strong.
I don't think he can beat you. I think the best he can hope to do is tie you. Ah, what? Why?
That you did a check, but
Right? For some reason, Feral is not. His API is not working. That's fine. I can just do a strength check for him. Okay.
Broke it is
Yeah,
your
Uskar,
toy.
he jumps on top of the table and scurries across it and then leaps off the table. You manage to grab him by the ankle and then he just falls flat, tumbles onto the chair on the other side of the table, and is on the ground prone right there.
Yeah.
So he has not taken an action. He would have dodged. He's going to turn around and he is going to pull a rapier and try and poke you with it.
You
What
can
is wrong
try.
with his? What is wrong with his APIs? Weird. Gets a 5 to hit you, Uskar.
That's amazing.
He's just flailing around with his rapier, like, release me! Release me!
Now I'm just picturing him really short.
Never.
He's dead. Okay. Adso.
Okay. Got an advantage on that guy, so okay. I'm gonna bonus action hex him. Ignore that damage. And then I am going to Scorching Ray. So
Nice.
first one.
Okay.
Okay, 29. Oh wait, that's a crit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Add the d6.
another
So-
d6.
Oh yeah, and another d6. Oh my god. Okay, 5.
Which one? The
5.
grappled one? The restrained one?
Yeah, the restrained
That's
one.
enough
Okay.
slices.
16 damage.
Yep.
There's also the fact that web
Is he still alive?
Flammable.
So this would free him.
Yeah.
He is barely standing still.
He would take
okay.
damage from the burning web, though.
Yes, he
Yeah.
would.
2d4 fire damage to any creature that starts its turn in the web as it's burning.
Well, it's not its turn yet.
Right.
Oh, not yet.
Okay. But
Ushar
does it
can't
look
see
like-
any of this happening.
Right.
Does it look like
No.
2d4 would kill him?
It most certainly does.
Okay, so I'm gonna aim for the guy right behind him. 17 hit?
17
You get to
hits.
shoot two. Oh, you use Fire Scorching Ray, not. I was
Yeah.
thinking Firebolt.
Yeah, that's 3. So did 17 hit?
It
Sorry.
does.
Okay. Oh, I'm also. Wait, no, I can't move my hex yet. Wait, is it a free action to move your hex or?
I think it's a bonus
bonus
action.
He has to be dead.
Once,
and
once the character
he has to
dies.
be dead, and
Oh,
then
he's
bonus
not dead
action.
yet. He's not dead yet. Okay. 6.
And technically, I think it says on Hex, it might be Hex or Hunter's Mark, it's the next turn.
Okay.
But
So 6 damage. Okay.
It's
And
your
then-
bonus action after they hit 0 hit points. On Hex.
Okay.
I played a Hexblade Warlock. I use Hex all the time.
Lovely. Okay, 25 damage hit for the third one.
25 hits.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. 8. So a total of what is that?
14.
14.
Nice.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit end of my. Let's move. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then end my turn.
Okay.
2
All right.
4.
Good stuff. So, does he get to save against it? Any type of anything like that, or is it just straight 2d4 he takes?
From the spell description, as long as they started in their turn, webs are flammable. Any 5-foot cube of webs exposed to fire burns away in a round, dealing 2d4 fire damage to any creature that starts its turn in the fire.
Roll it up.
Nice.
Down he goes.
Hey, ciao.
Yeah. Oh my word.
You are killing them all as their turns come up.
That's funny. What would it
That's the
take
best way to do it.
for Uzgar to drag this guy?
Just half your movement. You already got him.
Half my movement.
Your movement is halved when you're dragging another creature.
That's literally only like 10 feet. And does that take an action?
No, just your movement.
Alright. So Uskar's gonna drag him 10 feet over to here.
And if you want to move him further, you dash and.
I don't need to do that.
Just
Uskar's
trying
gonna
to keep
move.
him from leaving.
Yeah, Uskar's gonna. Well, no, shoot, because that uses my movement, so I can't move.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move him. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dash then, because I want to get him out here. So I'm gonna move him the 20 feet and move him to right here. And I'll be right next to him right here. The dash was my action then. And then I'm going to... Where's Brayla? She down there, damn. Alright, I'm gonna second wind.
Oh,
Or
no.
action surge, sorry.
Action surge, okay.
Action surge. So that I can then attempt to beat this guy's face in.
All right.
With... What do I want to use here?
You either used an improvised weapon by like grabbing a chair, or you could just use your fist for an unarmed strike.
Well, I have hand axes still.
There you go.
I was trying to decide if I want to do that. I'm going to do something different.
Remember, if you want
Where-
to take him alive, you can use any melee weapon to deal non-lethal damage.
Yes. I don't... I gotta see... I feel like... I can't... If I even do max damage, I don't think I'm going to take him down with my first hit, so... Yeah, you're just... Uskar's kind of pissed off, so you're going to see him do something you've never seen. All of a sudden, there's just... His hands grow claws. And he misses.
Yeah. He's you have grapple.
He's prone.
Yeah, he's prone.
He's
prone and grapple.
So he-
advantage.
So he takes the 23.
23 hits.
And he takes... yeah, it's still melee, so he takes 17 damage.
And he's unconscious.
Perfect.
Okay, wow.
He was weaker than I expected him to be, but yes, I
He's
did
just
not want
a
to
guy.
kill him. He pissed me off. And then
He's
he just...
looking for a cult,
you-
man.
Yeah.
What if he had like some secret like eldritch thing up
Yeah.
his sleeve?
Exactly. So then you just kind of see Uskar look around and see who noticed as he just kind of hides his hands as his claws go back in.
I noticed.
Um,
Are you Wolverine?
Nigel sees all.
and so he's like, "Stay down," and he looks at the remaining guys and asks them if this is a fight they really want to be in.
So the guy who Brayla has absolutely ruined the life of is still crying on the ground. The
feel
other
bad.
one looks up towards you and literally hisses at you and raises a hand up towards you, Scar.
Okay.
This guy.
Which it's his turn.
Okay.
He raises his hand.
Question.
Why not? Fuck it. Counterspell.
Ah!
Secondary thing. Was he also another one that was hit with the Scorching Ray?
This one was not. I don't. Was he hit by Scorching Rays? I think he might have been.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so 2d4.
And he's got 2d4 coming his way, too.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
He does nothing.
He does nothing.
Yay!
He raises his hand and hisses and looks confused.
Uskar just laughs like his belly laugh and waves at him.
All right.
Nathaniel just shakes his head because he's convinced that this is just another impersonator of his great friend Jar of Pickles. Hissing like a cat.
So, Freya, the guy in front of you, he literally like looks up at you and takes his maul and throws it into the pit and puts his hands up. He's like, "Please, no!" I just work here.
Well, then I guess I'm not going to attack someone who hasn't done anything wrong. As opposed to the other guy.
Yeah,
who
this
I would
guy.
like
This guy.
to javelin.
He seems like he's like a fanatic of a cult or something.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna stab him with a javelin.
This guy.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
Nice. Are we gonna have some smite slots?
I don't think
yes.
she needs it.
No, I probably don't need it. He's yellow.
What is that? 13? He's still standing.
Bam. Well, I'm just gonna do it again. Just for
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
He's squishy.
11 does not hit.
Stop moving.
Wait, wait, I already used my reaction. Damn it.
It's fine. I'm just gonna let him bleed on the floor. Crap. No, Uskar doesn't really need his axe. I'm just gonna hang on to it. I'm just hanging. I have my warhammer over one shoulder and the axe over the other, so I just look fucking nuts. I'm done.
Alistair.
Probably muted if you're talking.
Oh, yeah, muted.
You're hecka muted.
Yep.
There you go.
Muted.
Come back, Carl.
So the guy in the web. 23.
Yeah.
13 damage and 15 feet straight away. No, the guy, this
Oh,
guy.
the one that surrendered?
That guy surrendered.
Yeah.
Alistair doesn't care.
Wow.
Savage. How far? 15?
15.
So once again, you hear what the and you hear that roar again.
Woke something up, guys.
Something woke something up, and you would all notice that he fell considerably less time than anyone else that fell in before him before whatever happened to him happened to him.
Get out of here.
Yeah. The other guy.
The hit?
Where are the
20
exits?
and 10 feet straight back.
Yeah, he's dead, but
He's falling.
Down.
so
He's
this
dead, Jim.
time you don't even hear anything. The body just rolls over, and then about 3 or 4 seconds later, it gets flung back up and lands on top of the table between Nathaniel and Uskar with its head gone.
And in that case, I cast a spell.
What spell do you cast?
Can you?
Yeah, are we
Eldritch
still in
Blast,
initiative?
and then we're still in initiative.
So you will be
Eldritch
able to.
Blast?
Lightning Radiance directly over the top of the portal.
Is that a bonus action?
No, as soon as I have the ability to cast it, I cast it.
Okay, so
Oh,
we're still in initiative. Still in initiative
Okay.
right now. Yeah, we are in fact still in initiative. So
Okay.
wait for that to get around to your turn to do that. Nathaniel.
Nope.
The prick up.
I'm going to drop concentration. I'm going to drop concentration on the web spell because there's no real point at the moment. And I'm not exactly that wild about whatever's coming out of here.
At this point, you all can hear something thunk, thunk, thunk as it climbs its way up and out of the portal.
Be it Santa.
Do we have any inkling of what this could be?
I think we're
Nothing
about
good.
to find out. Is it gonna come out before Uskar's next turn?
Uskar, I will allow you to make a perception check to find out.
Because Uskar just wants to tie this guy up next to him.
You cannot tell Uskar.
Damn it.
I'm up.
It's Nathaniel's turn.
Since I have not done anything, I'm going to tell the Still Defender to grab the guy and to lock the guy's arms, and just kind of try to frog march him a bit. That way we can get him out of here without having someone else tied up.
Good use.
And Nathaniel just looks around and says, I don't know what's coming out of there, but we may want to depart post-haste.
Do we have a door on this side?
We
Yeah.
made a door.
Oh, yeah.
Or-
Uskar, I forgot Uskar made a door. Sweet. Look at that. Multi-use ring of ram. Yep. I knew it.
In that case, I'm going to 5, 10...
Time to run!
Aww.
Okay, Nathaniel is going to start running, even though out of character, I have no doubt this thing is going to appear before we can get out of here.
Nathaniel,
Is it
is that your turn?
inappropriate to...
Yeah. Well, what do I have? Spell-wise, let me just double check. I think I'm going to hold off on my spells until I actually see what's. I'm going to hold off on any other spell casting until I need it.
Aja?
Okay. By this
Not
point, you all
good.
can hear a deep, heavy breathing. You all see a huge, clawed, red-haired hand come and reach up out of the portal and then begin lifting something up and out. The bestial head, almost canine, almost ape-like. Long, twisted horns curling out ahead of it. Red, glowing eyes as it lifts its enormous bulk up and out of the portal.
Ludo?
Yeah, that
As
doesn't look
that
fun.
pulls its face up and over, looks around at the gathered assemblage, and lets out a deep, bellowing roar as it leaps up and out of the portal.
Ah, don't come this way, buddy.
We're going to call it a session here, everybody. And when we come back next week, you all can figure out if you want to just leave this to be dealt with by the people of the Yawning Portal, if you want to deal with it yourselves.